Hi there, this is Tim. Today we're talking about Levi. Levi was able to recover from the pandemic and quickly shift its business model. Even though Levi was once run in an old-fashioned approach, the current team is trying to innovate and push forward. So in this video, we're talking about how Levi is going to innovate past this pandemic. Before we continue, please smash the like button, and if you'd like to see more such videos, please subscribe to this channel. Firstly, we'll be talking about the business model of the company. Levi is an American cloth company known worldwide for its Levi brand of denim jeans. It was founded in May of 1853 when German immigrant Levi Strauss moved from Baltimore, Pennsylvania to San Francisco, California to open a West Coast branch of his brother's New York dry goods business. Although the corporation is registered in Delaware, the company's corporate headquarters is located in Levi's Plaza in San Francisco. As the company continues to sell its clothes to its customers, the company will start to grow. Secondly, we will be talking about Levi's second quarter of 2020. The Daniels maker Levi Strauss sales fell 62% during its physical second quarter, as its online sales weren't enough to make up for its stores being temporarily shut for roughly 10 weeks during the COVID-19 crisis. Consumers by and large have shifted away from tight pants and demons, opting instead for large wears and pants with elastic waistband to wear around the house if they're even shopping for clothes. Levi also announced it was slashing about 50% of its global corporate workforce, impacting about 700 jobs in a bid to cut costs during the COVID-19 pandemic. It said the move should generate annual savings for Levi of $100 million. CEO Bruns comments comes as cases are rising rapidly in the US in last year, prompting some states and local governments to slowly reopen or reimpose measures designed to curb the spread of the pandemic. Overall, retail store traffic decline have accelerated again in the past 2 weeks, according to data from ShopperTrack. While about 90% of Levi's stores have reopened worldwide, traffic and sales are still lagging levels of 2019. CEO Brink 6. A complete recovery reported will likely take some time, he said. The San Francisco headquartered company reported a net loss of $364 million or 91 cents a share, compared with net income of $29 million or earning 7 cents per share in 2019. The company said losses were partly offset by its e-commerce business, which grew 25% during the second quarter of last year, making up 50% of total net revenue during the period, compared with just 5% in 2019. Next, we're talking about Levi's third quarter of 2020. Levi Strauss shares saw after the denim makers reported online sales growth of 52%, which helped offset loss elsewhere in the business during the physical third quarter of 2020. Management told analysts it expects the strong performance will continue into the holiday quarter, though it is calling for sales to be down 14 to 15% year over year during the period, assuming the pandemic does not worsen. The company also said it will stop paying a dividend in the fourth quarter, but it aims to resume payouts in 2021 should the positive trend continue. Levi's third quarter sales fell 27% due to COVID-19 pandemic-related store closures, and net income tumbled 28%. But the declines were less than the company has anticipated, toppling internal targets. CEO Chip Brinks cited recent investment in building out Levi's direct-to-consumer business for the stronger than expected performance. The company also gains market share in a key women apparel category, and it relies less on promotion to move merchandise off shelves. Levi's net income fell to 27 million or 7 cents per share from 124 million or 30 cents a share earlier. Excluding one-time charge, Levi's earned 8 cents per share, better than expected loss of 22 cents according to witnesses. Net revenue fell to 1.06 billion from 1.45 billion earlier, beating expectation of 822.2 million. The company said its digital revenue globally, which includes sales of its websites, as well as its wholesale partner like Amazon, grew 50% year-over-year and made up about 24% of third quarter sales, doubling year-ago levels. Next, we're talking about the team-up between Target and Levi. Target will launch a live, limited-time collection of home goods, pet accessories, apparel, and other dinner-inspired items with Levi shorts, as it looked to build on its sales momentum during the pandemic. The new line of more than 100 items will be available in the most of the big box retail stores and online starting February 28. The range from glass tumblers for $3 each to a bar cup for $150, but most items are under $25. For Levi, the expanding partnership is a way to strengthen ties with a thriving retailer as apparel sales are down and its department stores partners have lost ground during the pandemic. Target, on the other hand, has attracted new customers and won most of the business, while it keeps doors open as an essential retailer. Its online offering, such as curbside pickup, has seen significant growth too. In 2019, Target announced some of its stores and websites will start carrying red tabs. By fall of 2021, Target planned to sell the red tab labels at 500 of its nearly 1,900 locations. The curated store display resembles a shop-in-shop. Next, we're talking about Levi's fourth quarter of 2020. Levi's shorts reported its total holiday quarter sales dropped 12%, marking an improvement from a more than 20% decline in the prior period, as weak shoppers' traffic at its stores were partly offset by double-digit growth online. Chief Executive Chip Briggs told CNBC that the results for the fourth quarter topped the demons maker internal expectation, nearly meeting the base case scenario that Levi laid out back when the COVID-19 pandemic first started to hit the US and disrupt many businesses. Levi's global digital sales, which includes the online sales of its merchandise and wholesale partners, make up 23% of fourth quarter sales, up from 50%. For the third three quarters, the 3-month period ended November 29, Levi earned $57 million or 14 cents per share, compared with $96 million or 23 cents per share a year earlier. Excluding one-time charge, it earned 20 cents per share, which was better than the 15 cents expected by analysts. Net revenue fell 12% to 1.39 billion from 1.57 billion earlier. That was better than the 1.34 billion forecast by analysts. As the pandemic continues to disrupt normal business operations, the company said that currently roughly 40% of its stores in Europe and 70% globally, including franchise-operated locations, are closed. Finally, we're talking about the latest earnings report of Levi. Levi reported double-digit sales to decline for its first quarter of 2021 as ongoing stores closure in Europe and lightened foot traffic in the US due to the COVID-19 pandemic weighed on results. but demand makers boost its sales and profit outlook for the first half of this year, assuming that the global health crisis doesn't become worse from here. CFO Hamish Six said in an interview with CNBC that the company is anticipating sales will return to 2019 pre-pandemic levels by the fourth quarter. Levi's net income declined slightly to $142.5 million or 35 cents per share from $152.7 million or 37 cents per share earlier. Excluding one-time charge, the company earns 34 cents per share, better than the 25 cents forecast by analysts. Total revenue fell about 13% to $1.31 billion from $1.5 billion in a year earlier. That came in better than the $1.25 billion forecast by analysts. The retailer said the double-digit drop in sales year-over-year was primarily due to the reduced foot traffic in its stores due to the pandemic, as well as ongoing store closures in some markets where COVID restrictions have remained in place. In Europe, for example, more than 40% of Levi's stores currently are closed, with others operating on reduced hours, the company said. Next, we're talking about the recovery of retail stores. Levi's CEO Chip Brings said that the gym maker is shopping for more space as commercial rentals vacancies are up. The San Francisco-based company wants to add to its 40 stores and 200 outlets location in the US to boost its direct-to-consumer operations. The executive said direct-to-customer sales account for about 40% of Levi's total revenue last year, the company said in February. For this year, Levi wants those sales to make up 60% of total revenue. Part of its new store rollout is what the company calls next generation stores. These are designed to be smaller, as little as 2,500 square feet, and equipped with machine learning to help with inventory, the CEO said. Levi direct-to-consumer strategies, including its mainline and outlet stores, online operations, and department stores it partnered with. Sales in the category dropped 26% last quarter, loss it blamed on less foot traffic in its stores. In conclusion, Levi is trying to compete against these online retailers. However, if the company could benefit from reopening of the retail stores, the company will continue to grow, which will push stock price higher. So if you strongly believe that Levi is benefiting from the reopening of these retail stores, you actually can purchase shares in the company. With that, thank you for the nice day. Goodbye.